Hello and welcome to this Scientific Principles video with Electronic. In this video we're going to learn about sine wave quantities. We have here a diagram of a simple generator, and a generator is sometimes called an alternator, and the conductor rotates within the magnetic field of the generator, and it's this changing angle between the conductor and the lines of magnetic flux that produces the output that's shown below in the graph, and we call that the sine wave. Now, the nature of an alternating current, or AC, is that it is produced as a sine wave. So the current direction keeps reversing, changing between positive and negative, and at the same time it is constantly increasing and decreasing in magnitude. So it's going higher and lower. And if I was to trace that out with my pointer on the graph, if we start on the left there at 0, that's 0 in terms of magnitude and 0 in terms of time. And then as the rotation begins, the voltage and the current will increase to a maximum and then begin to decrease back to 0, and then change direction and increase to a maximum and then decrease back to 0. And that is the output from one rotation within the magnetic field. Now, there are several values that we can measure in the alternating waveform, and it's important to remember that they apply both to voltage and current. Both of them are sinusoidal. That means they're both in the form of a sine wave, and that's because in a generator it's the electromotive force, or the voltage, that is induced, and then the current is dependent on that voltage. So if the voltage is sinusoidal, the current will also be in the form of a sine wave. As we talk about the values of a sine wave, let's just bear that in mind then, that although I might talk about voltage, the same thing applies to the current. So let's look at the first value then. This is the peak voltage, and as you can see from the diagram, it's the highest level or the highest output that is produced, and that's the peak voltage. But it can also be called the amplitude. So it's either the peak voltage or the amplitude. And now we're looking at the bottom part of the waveform, and the identification is exactly the same. It's called the peak voltage. So note that there are peaks in both directions, and that's because we have a peak in the positive direction, shown at the top of the graph, and a peak in the negative direction, and that's shown at the bottom of the graph. Now we're going to identify this value. It's between the peak at the top of the waveform and then the peak at the bottom of the waveform, and it's not a very imaginative name. We call it the peak to peak voltage because it simply is the measurement between one peak and the other peak. It's peak to peak voltage. So far we've looked at values on the axis of magnitude, i.e. we've looked at peak on the positive side, peak on the negative side, and the value between the two peaks is called peak to peak. But now we're going to look at the other axis. So this is the axis along the horizontal line, and that represents the changing angle and changing period of time. And so from the beginning of the sine wave at 0 to the end of the sine wave, that is actually known as one cycle. However, as with so many things, as you're discovering, there's more than one name for the same thing. So this is also known as the period. And the reason for the two names is, well, one cycle describes a cycle around the rotation, so one complete circle, and the word period is simply a description of the time period it takes for that cycle to be completed. So we have these two names. It's either one cycle or one period. I've got one more thing on this video I want to explain to you about this cycle of the sine wave. You see, so far we've looked at one individual sine wave and we've identified various parts of it, but in reality, remember that in a generator, one sine wave is produced by one rotation, but the generator doesn't actually just do one rotation and then stop. it's continually rotating, and that means that the output will be a continuing repeating of that pattern of the sine wave. So that means that we can identify one cycle from numerous starting positions. So for example, we've already shown from 0, if we follow the sine wave until it reaches that same point again, that's one cycle. But we could start, for example, at the peak positive value and then follow the sine wave to 0, to the peak of the negative, back to 0, and back to the peak of the positive, and there's one cycle. Or a third example, we could start at the peak of the negative side, and we would then have to end at the peak of the negative side when it reaches that point again, and so there is one cycle. So you have numerous positions that you can start and finish. As long as you're starting and finishing at the same point in the cycle, that is still called one cycle. So there we are. We're going to look at further details of the sine wave in the next video. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.